Actually, let's leave the target value there. Instead of calling this left-hand formula, I'm going to call this bond value. Because for the purposes of this template, that's what it is. Okay? And current yield is face value times coupon rate divided by bond value. Obviously, let's say that's $938. Current yield is similar to a yield concept in stock trading. It's called dividend yield. It's the amount of dividends you expect over the next 12-month period divided by the value of the stock. So if you want to make it comparable to bonds, if you want to think about a return concept for bonds that is comparable to stocks, current yield is your friend, okay? Because those coupons are basically dividends from owning a bond, right? Hence, dividend yield. Now, you should keep in mind there is the following relationship. If coupon rate is greater than yield to maturity, or if, bond value is greater than face value, these bonds are known as premium bonds. But the fact that we call them premium should not necessarily connote something good about them. The reason they're premium because coupon rate is above the yield to maturity. Okay? For premium bonds, you have yield to maturity less than current yield, which is less than coupon rate. For bonds, the other way around, if the bond value is less than face value, we call them discount bonds. I don't know why I didn't copy these. So current yield is the number that's always between yield to maturity and coupon rate. Now, the only thing we have to do is write a little formula that's going to calculate the value of a bond. Now we know that it is an annuity with a balloon payment, so I'm going to use the PV function. The first argument is rate. I'm going to take the yield to maturity divided by coupon frequency, because yield to maturity is an APR number. For each coupon period, the interest rate is going to be less. Number of periods, I calculated here. Payment is the coupon amount, and FV is, where are you? Face value. And I'm going to hit OK. Since this was written by an accountant, we also had our own function, if you guys remember. I think it should be here. So let me try, make this dollar format first. If you don't have the function handy, you can always use the PV, but I like using functions where I don't have to do extra stuff. Not insert. User defined. I have a function called present value of annuity. iCash is the coupon amount. iRate is the yield to maturity. iYear is number of years. And iBalloon is the face value. It is not surprising that we got exactly the same thing. Since I have that function available for this workbook, I'm using that one, but alternatively, you could use the PV.
Can you go with the PV one more time, please?
Yeah, let's do the PV. Yeah, PV is right there. Rate is the period rate, so take not that. Take the yield to maturity divided by coupon frequency. I already calculated number of coupons separately here, so I'm going to use that. Payment is the coupon amount. FV is the face value. And hit OK. And I'm going to put a negative in front. Or alternatively, you could put negative in front of payment and face value. Either one would give you the same amount. I'm going to shade these separately to kind of let me know. Actually, I'm going to shade these separately. I'll make that rose colored. It's my sheet. I can do whatever the hell I want. Technically speaking, I'm not going to change any of those guys, but because of the setup, it's there. If I really want to be stickler about it, I can do something about it, but I'm not going to worry about it. There's a reason I left it blank. So anything below that, in fact, you could put this little thing in there. No, I don't accept that correction. Oh. If you put a single quote before you write a mathematical or numerical thing, it treats it as a text. Since negative sign obviously has a meaning by itself. Why doesn't it? Oh, I wrote it in the wrong place. Control C. Yeah. You can always tell the user that, don't pick that as your unknown. Because GoalSeek needs a cell that does not contain a formula if it is to be treated as an unknown. But since we know what we're doing, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Again, I could do slightly more work and make sure that these guys never show up over there. But sometimes you do a lot of work for very little return. I'm an economist by training, so I choose to do things economically. The return is very little. I mean, you really have to be completely ignorant to figure out, what's, if the bond value is 1,000, what value of number of coupons satisfies that? That question doesn't even make sense. So let them get an error message if they're going to be that ignorant about it. Now, let me save this before I forget. says macro, so it should be a macro-enabled network workbook. Okay. We now have a little bond template. We can ask a lot of questions. For example, now the rate is 4.114. Okay. What happened to bond value? Did it go up or down? Just 4.106. Now it's 114. What do you think happened to the value of this bond? Up or down? Remember, yield to maturity is the interest rate. Or I should actually technically call it market interest rate. Because coupon rate is kind of an interest rate as well. So interest rate went up. What happened to the value of the bond? Up or down?